Alright, people, I've just realized again how easy it is to get drawn into giving to give all your information away. I mean, I've told these stories already, no doubt about that. But I really want to keep it a bit less private. I've started to make new form of artment. New form of art. New form of artment. That's also interesting. Yeah, I've created a new form of art, you know. I have a super gigantic ego. You have to understand this. If I go to people and I tell them, just to tell them what I do, simply because I want to do it, because I think some people, they're just too lazy. They should be just a little bit proud of themselves, because nobody will give you that. If you want that your parents are proud of you, forget it. It's about just admitting yourself, the ability, towards yourself. Be honest towards yourself about your own abilities. Because everybody is, we're around greedy assholes. Everybody wants to be some kind of alpha male. But they're not willing to put in the work. Like, the alpha male is not the alpha because he's the most violent, the toughest, or just the strongest. He's the one that can keep the group together. He's the shepherd. He tells everyone where he stands. But when you start living like that, setting boundaries basically, and simply saying, you have no right to tell me what to do, because I'm not telling you what to do. And I really meet people. I mean, I've told you this story, that my sister bit me in the finger because she couldn't tell me what to do. She was trying to tell me that I should stop making content like this, that I should only make art, but not speak about these emotions and the things that are happening between me and the people that I meet, that I stand in direct connection with, because to some people that's like too private. And I simply have no such boundaries. I talk about everything that happens to me. I don't give away names of people, but I say how they stand in relation to me. And I say that because quite often within families, we have really weird dynamics. Like sisters that manipulate parents and rile them up against each other and also against siblings. That's basically what happened to me quite a lot. That as long as nobody was around, they were super vicious. But if other people were there, they were suddenly like, oh yeah, I'm so nice. Yeah. And they were also nice in your face, but then you gave them certain things that you said them, and then they go around and tell it to your parents. And then they worry and make a problem out of it, and that's how some people generate like power dynamics. They like it. They like it to disturb you and to give you weird thoughts. Because if they see you fail, they feel more powerful. And they can do that. Right? And that's really weird. And I just simply started to stop this. And people didn't like it. Because I was destroying their schemes. The image they had created for themselves. I can do whatever I want. And of course, it happened to me as well, right? I thought I could do whatever I want, and, people tried to jump me. And I got out of the encounter basically unharmed, but I also made sure that this wasn't like, I wasn't feeding into it anymore. When I met people on the streets, I thought, everybody loves me. That's how I was walking around, and this is just a small village. Yeah, this is not like, I thought, oh yeah, nothing can harm me here. Just walked around, and I also tested certain people. Well, I tested one young man who walked around like a puffed up guy, maybe in his early 20s, maybe 17. I think he was maybe 20. Like super puffed up, walking around like he owns the place. And I was just talking to him like, hey, what's going on? And nobody does that. Do you get it? Nobody talks to people just like this on the streets. Sometimes people think I'm crazy. You know, I've approached a woman on a kindergarten, a playground, a children playground, because I was thinking about sweeping the streets and cleaning the streets. You know, somebody should do that. I was still looking for my place. You know, what am I supposed to do? So I was still trying to sort things out. You know, am I supposed to work in the boulder hall? Still a possibility. I don't know, right? Am I supposed to, what was that one? You know, sweep the streets? You know, should I go to the mayor? You know, where am I to invest myself in? Everything that I have to give. And I was really trying to figure it out. And, you know, I was just looking at these playgrounds, and I went there, and there was a mother. And I went to the mother, and her child was playing, and I said, do you feel comfortable on playgrounds? And I was standing there bare feet and just wearing just my clothes, nothing else, you know, just the way I look. Probably was wearing a cap or this hat, you know, I'm not sure, but I was talking really friendly. You know, there was nothing. I just said what I said, and I asked, do you feel comfortable here as a mother? And then she started saying, no, there's like syringes. That's what she said. I think she was just living in that kind of place. But it's not, I don't see it. I don't see syringes anywhere. I'm not sure if that's because I don't look, but I don't see. I look everywhere, to be honest. I see sugar. These drink packages made with this really sweet juice, they lie around everywhere. What you find is cigarettes. But more lately, what you find are packages also of these vaporizers that are very bad, man. So much sugar in there. What you see is, yeah, okay, cans and bottles are being picked up by people that make money by returning them to the shops. So that's basically sorted out. Some people actually make a living on that. They just walk around collecting these things. It's actually hard work, because if so many people do it, right, your chance of finding... In the beginning, there were people, when nobody really knew about it, that earned like 2,000 euros a month just by collecting bottles. You mean when the government is thinking about taxing the money you get from collecting bottles? But that kind of washed out, because as more and more people picked off on it, you know, you basically see a bottle, it's 25 cents, plastic. Right, they don't collect glass bottles, because that's only 8 cents and it's way heavier, right? They collect cans and plastic bottles, because glass is too heavy, they don't want to carry it. And I get it. I mean, if you have basically no job, you can just walk around all the time and look for these bottles, you know, they look into trash cans. Some people just chuck it away. That's basically money. But I feel like my potential is wasted on that. Just leave it to the people who have no other ideas than doing this. You know, I just believe in myself, right? It's like that guy. You just have to be a bit smart about what you do. And just look for opportunities. Be an opportunist. I'm an opportunist. If you give you mushrooms, I'll eat mushrooms. And you know what Chris Webby is singing, you know, life will give me lemons, I'll be sipping on some lemonade. And that clearly shows that he knew how to get by, you know. Okay, you give me weed, I'll have weed. Maybe if I don't have weed, I don't have weed. So I get by, but then when I do smoke, it actually gets easier. For whatever reason, it just activates me in different ways. So when I just smoked and I sit here and I talk, it's very clear in the beginning. But the more I do it, the weirder it gets. And that's why you always also have to set boundaries on what you certainly have to do. Yeah, and that's what I'm going to do in the next session. And just preparing